out to all of you who are about to tune in to the Fight Show as we kick it live with my guys to my right, your left, the best to ever do it on the nastiest, most ferocious fighter to ever lace him up outside of Jack Dempsey, Mike Tyson versus Captain Hook, Roy Jones Jr., the most athletic man to ever do the dang thing. Tonight, my friends and all of those who have never had an opportunity to watch Mike Tyson and any Mike Tyson event, some of you youngsters out there, this will be your first time having this opportunity. And believe me, this is a million times less than what it was when he was actually in there to get that strap. Remember, this is just a taste. Tonight, we're going to get it popping, man. It's going to be an exciting show. I see all of you guys chiming in with us. Welcome to the Fight Show. But one thing that is apparent right now, with no more further ado, it's time to box. I want to know where you guys are from. I see we got them chiming in all over the place, and I'll put your name on the screen as you see right now. What's going on? Man, we got them from India in the building. Shouts out to you, Niraj. I definitely love these cool names when we're on the Fight Show. It goes to show the universality that we're involved in here. PlayStation, you about that? You need to get up on that Oculus PlayStation. Welcome, man, to the Fight Show. It's about to go down, champ. Let's going on. Connor Reigns in the building. Let's go, Mike. You see, it's a bunch of Mike Tyson fans. They weren't even alive when Mike Tyson began fighting. It got to show you this is what it's all about. And man, we got a menu of things to cover tonight. It's a totally, completely full night. What's up, family? Christian, what's up? It's good to see you. Y'all let me know where y'all from. I see we got like a ton of them falling in here. It's going down, buddy. We're going to score this fight tonight. Julia, I can't believe Tyson making 10 million. Yes, he gonna make more than 10 million. I'm gonna tell you a good story. When you are doing something like building your brand, this is the difference between building your brand, like a lot of people think they're doing, and Mike Tyson building the brand. I go out here to try to buy a shirt to represent for Brownsville, Brooklyn, which I got family up in Brooklyn, New York, and Long Island, New York, and Queens, Jamaica, Queens, New York. So representing Mike Tyson because he's part of the biggest lineage in fighting, which is the most ferocious. And he falls in that category of Jack Dempsey and Jack Johnson, just most ferocious fighters to ever lace them up in the ring. So of course I'm going to represent. I represent for those who come back, and Mike Tyson's shown that he can come back. Man, shirts sold out. Oh, about 50 different types. So y'all go check them out, man. It's all the sizes are showed out. Let me see. Let me know where you're from. France in the building. Madine. I love those cool names, man. In the building. Let's see what you got. Australia in the house. Connor, I see you, brother. Welcome to the Fight Show. It's good to see all of you guys live, man. We tuning in. We get it popping with you. I got the fight over the right hand. It's really good, man. The fight card. Wiz Khalifa got up there and ripped it up with black and yellow. It's today's new normal. It's today's new normal. Nick, what's up? Mike used to study the same counters over. Yes, he did. He trained hard when it meant a lot to him. And when you get super rich before you 20 years old, it's hard to keep that energy. Neil from South Wales in the building, TSOB, the School of Boxing. Two great supporting bouts. It's totally good boxing tonight. Who would have thought? Everything is well, Nick. We just got back in town, and you know it's a big night when we come in town off of vacation to see Mike Tyson, and that's how powerful the impact of what this is historically already. Everybody's chiming in. I can't even keep up, but it's good. It's good to see you guys knowing that when you come on the Fight Show, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover some stupid cool stuff. Hassim, what's up? I just don't see Roy pulling this one out. Well, the thing about this is, man, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into some scoring tactics and things that y'all are going to find it really interesting how I decide to show you how you have to score what we call a smoker in the boxing world. We used to go up to Virginia and we used to go up to New York little bit of Philly, a lot of Baltimore, and do our smokers, even Fayetteville down in Fort Bragg, and really get it in. And I'm going to tell you how you score tonight. So when we score together, so make sure all of you score together. If you plan on scoring tonight, let me hear you say I, because we are going to score, and I'm going to show you how to score smokers. Jeez, I can't even keep up with these things. I'm gonna put a couple of more of you guys out there. Let me know where you're from. Tonight we have special giveaways too. So I'm glad you guys tuned in. It's just what we need to do to keep the sport of boxing and get it back to the front lane. We got mixed martial arts on one side, we got football, and so the gladiator sports, we all have to support one another. Boxing definitely needs that injection, and Mike Tyson is definitely giving. We got Israel Adesanya, the style bender, on the mic, commentating with Sugar Ray Leonard and Marl. They're getting it in. It's a very good show. Very good show. They're doing a very good job. I was very over impressed by Triller tonight. So Julio Gomez, Tyson by KO. I don't know if Tyson's going to get a KO, and we're going to break it down in about 5 minutes. We're going to really get into it. So don't move your muffins, brother. We are going to really show you and get into why and how this fight will play out, because you understand it. You've seen it once, you've seen it twice. It's the same dance. We're going to definitely, for those who are Tyson fans, you're going to learn something. And those who are Roy Jones fans, you're going to learn something. And those who are just fans of boxing, you're going to learn something. So, what's going on? Connor, I turned 18 in a few days. Yeah, so you were only 3 when Tyson had his last fight. So I thought it wouldn't be able to see the fight, but thanks to you, brother, I can. Hmm. Well, not showing the fight. We're gonna score the fight, and I'm gonna commentate the fight round by round. What time's the main event? I think Jake Paul and those guys are getting ready to come up shortly. But the interesting thing about this on Enrique is that they have entertainment, and it's not like overzealous. It's the people you actually would listen to. So, who would have thought that they really put it together well? With over 200 million downloads, Triller is really making moves. I definitely didn't put that past him. Barry, what's up? Where you from, Barry? Y'all let me know where you from. You got to represent where you at. Where you from? Ordinarily, I pick Mike, but the last fight was 2005, and Jones' last fight was 2018. And that has a lot to do with some of the things. Rust, and when you have to pull up a certain level of resolve, as Sugar Ray said it earlier, but not in the same manner I did. I'm not taking his words. Basically, I'm just going to paraphrase. Sugar Ray made it very clear that when you're at this level, you've done a heck of a service just bringing that level of angst and the fortitude to the level of getting up for this. To be able to put that into action is an entirely different call of duty. So when it's all said and done, there is so many things that come into play right now. Shouts out to you out here in YouTube. So make sure you drop your comments, because what we do on a fight show is we get it popping. We break the fight world down round by round. I'm a coach, and what I do is I've been a part of this game for nearly 30 years, and I put my whole heart and soul in it. So we're just not a talking head. I do this for real. I've walked the realm with a multitude of world champions and been experienced. And my thing is to make sure I bridge the gap between those who are trying to learn it, some of you who are enthusiasts, and really feel like you got what it takes to become a boxer. So that's kind of what I do. I make the reality real. I give you the real stuff. We show you what you do inside of a gym, train. So if you like that type stuff, subscribe, follow us, whatever you do. Just make sure you do one thing: continue to listen, because we don't give you nothing but the funk. Shouts out to my boys TSOB, the guys that are in School of Boxing, getting educated and educated on an entirely different level. So special shouts out to you. You are the next generation, and there's some amazing things coming down the pipeline in December. December for you guys. So Brian, Tyson's coming with those, oh yeah, slopping angles. You put slopping, but it's slipping. Yeah, Jones is coming out with a loose angle game. Tyson's going to have to put in Put it on, Jones, early. Well, you never know what the game plan is. You can test the waters. Take a lot when it's all said and done about ring generalship. So, nearly 3 years out of the ring, you can lose a little bit of that. Your legs aren't the same, and that was Roy's biggest asset. So, as we go down the menu, we're going to really get uh, into what we are truly going to be talking about. How do you match these styles up? I know some of you know from a perspective of what you've heard, but here what we do is bridge the gap and make sure that you truly understand what exactly is happening and what will need to happen. So I got a host of things that we're going to discuss, man, and it's all going to be good. Once again, make sure you are live and in the moment with what I'm saying, because we're going to really give you some really good insight. We will go over some bullets and how you should match the styles up, and the styles is the first conversation. Understanding what exactly styles are there. Most people understand what Mike Tyson brings. These guys are talking. They really need to just say, all of you guys, you need to be the audience over here. And I think you'd be a lot more interested in some of the commentators they got up here jumping up. What's up, Brian? Let me read what you got. Oh, I seen that one. Let me see. Next thing, the styles, as I get back to that. What does it really take when you really are understanding? He not hearing from a perspective. Who knows boxing? If you do, make sure when you leave a comment, put some emojis beside it so I know that you're actually responding to the question that I'm asking. Who really understands what the peekaboo style is all about when it comes down to boxing? Sir, please tell me about match timing of India. Um, Timing, I don't know exactly if I'm gonna paraphrase this question. I'm thinking you're asking me what exactly is it that the match timing of India, I don't know, man. I think I don't even know what time zone you're in. So if you're talking about that or boxing timing, but what I'm about to do is give it to the fans who are really curious when it comes down to understanding the peekaboo style and knowing exactly what it brings. It was created many years ago, and it was built upon. You got the greats like Archie Moore, who created it so they could be able to block and see through their arm guard. So it used to be the turtle shell, and it continued to advance over time. Some people went the route of turtle shelling into Philly shelling, and some people went to turtle shelling into peekabooing. Okay, so I know none of you understood that that's how it evolved over time, but that's the evolution of the turtle shell, peekaboo, and Philly shell. And that's why in our Philly shell program and peekaboo program, we show you the skills of each one. But in like the next tier of what you're learning in like our guys in the school of boxing, they're learning that you have to learn to merge it. And how does that look? It's sort of as difficult as going from conventional stance to selfie. And when you're doing that, it's difficult. It's a lot different than it looks. And you gotta realize that when you fight in a style like Mike Tyson, there's a lot of legs. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Everybody in our camp was looking, they were all just advanced amateurs at one time. And they all were looking so forward to learning the peekaboo style. So as we started to line this thing up for them to learn it, it was crazy. So let me put another comment up here. Let me know where you from, everybody. Shouts out to you. Yeah, Fred Morris. What's up, buddy? Enslaved blacks. Yo, yeah, I get it. It's all good. PlayStation. Who is better? Peter Lucas. Yes, TSOB is in the house. It's good to see all of you brothers, man. And the style evolved. When Custy Amato got it, he had it with you guys who was early on in the days, which was Floyd Patterson, who was very, very nimble, very slick with it, and he used to head pop. Now there's different variations of it, and now we're talking about the guys. They were so excited, but they didn't understand that you have to build the body. So you have to build the legs from the inside to the exterior, and the glutes, and the calves, and the ankles. And they were going through a bevy of these training developmental programs. And every day they were coming to the gym and they were like dying because they was physically sore from the day before. And what that brought to fruition is that they realized that the peekaboo was about developing the body, because what would be called upon for the body to do, and what would be called upon the body to do, is a lot of physical beat you down kind of stuff. And when you start doing that stuff right here, like, you can't just wake up and go to YouTube and start doing like this, because the body calls for a certain degree of torque, left to right, east to west, and we got east side and west side slipping. Like, learning the skill is one thing, meaning a lot of you are trying to do the skill, but the technique, you don't have the technique down. So there's a variation of the technique that we use to develop the trunk, like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, if you could look at his midsection, you can see the sturdiness of his trunk. And if he turn around to the back, you can see the lower half of his back. There's just a mountain of muscle, but it's super flexible, because Mike Tyson's on his lower back, in the vertebrae area, is sort of like what we call double jointed. So he has a better ability in that, and he moves many more fractions than you naturally, left to right, because most of you are stiff. So pulling off the peekaboo this manner works better than blocking like George Foreman did, because George Foreman was trained by Archie Moore, the old mongoose. Then, as you look around, you start to see Mike Tyson executing this thing right here, pop, 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 pop. But he had to train to keep his hands up all the time. So, Rooney, smack him on the head, smack him on the head. Teddy Atlas, smack him on the head, smack him on the head. Customato literally smacked him. I know all the inside stories because we trained Oliver McCall, who was his training partner for years over in Catskill, and then they move over out to Brooklyn and they would do their training. But Tyson had such a deep history of just developing this. So I remember when you used to see him in those videos doing those runs, like, you had to get that run in because your conditioning level. So the guys would always come in, and it was crazy how they automatically assume once you start doing this that the peekaboo, but you don't. And the reality was, it's so many layers to the body, and you can't be a fighter because you watch boxing. You'll get killed. Guys that go to the gym every day, they spend 6-7 hours at the gym every day. Okay. Like, you can't beat a dude like that. It takes years to get into the mindset and to be able to train 7 hours, 8 hours a day inside of a gym. What you have to go through to be a fighter. And the reason why I'm addressing this is because a lot of you are reaching out to me and talking about, you think you want to be a fighter, but if you wanted to be a fighter, you'd be at the gym fighting. Fighters, they're like tigers. When you're hungry, you go eat. When you don't talk when you're hungry, you go eat when you're hungry. So that's why people like Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson don't play around. When he's hungry, he goes to eat. And when he goes to eat, he goes to eat for real. And with that being said, let me make sure I get my everything tight over here. So it's a beautiful thing when you see that all display out, and it really starts to unfold, and you see the beauty of what the peekaboo style can do. And then you learn the punch numbers. Who knows anything about punch numbers out there when it comes down to the Tyson style? which he ordained it uh, many, many times. Oh, Badu Jack's in the ring. Badu Jack is getting it popping. It's the third round. Badu Jack. And Badu Jack came to bring it. And his trainer gives him that real peekaboo stuff. So when you watch Badu Jack, he can really get it in. He can really do it. Now, when you're talking about fighters learning punch numbers, you got to learn the punch numbers because you have to realize when a fighter is throwing punches and the guy that you're training can't figure out what punches to put together, the punch numbers come into play in that moment. And what we're going to do now is kind of discuss how we will get into matching these guys up. So the styles, the components of the cutie style. We've talked about what it takes physically to endure developing the peekaboo. It's hard on the body, it's taxing. You lose confidence in yourself many times over. But the truth and the fact of the matter is you gotta have that, because if you get in there trying to do that weak peekaboo, you be practicing in the mirror and you bring it in there with a guy who's really doing it for real, you're gonna get smoked because the dexterity of your body has to be developed. When I talk boxing, I talk serious. I don't play. And I take it serious because I can snap my fingers at a boxing gym. And when I snap my fingers and call out numbers, if you ain't ready, you're going to get smoked. And when you on the other end of that firing stick, it's not fun. So don't play. If you're not serious about boxing, don't be acting like you can go out there and box. Because these dudes they're built from the inside out. And you got to have abilities, but styles, when you fighting, you got to have that style. You got to have that ability. You got to have that wherewithal, and you got to train. And a lot of people don't like to train and do all the necessary stuff that it takes to box. So the next thing we're going to drop, and I see you guys still chiming in. Keep on chiming because this fight card, it looks like it's really smoking. We're going to get into a little bit of Errol Spence and the fight that's coming up next week, December the 5th, which is Errol Spence and Danny Garcia. And my question is going to be to you guys, do you really feel like that's a good fight for my man Errol Spence to be taken? And we're going to get into that because I really can't wait to see the guys weigh in. And what made me think of is because early on my feed, I saw his coach, and it really made me think, what is he really thinking right now? Is this a good idea? Is this something that the fighter wanted more than he could give the resistance to take it? Because you have that right. What's up, my champ? Jack is pressing well. Yeah, Jack got that peekaboo. He can fight. I ain't gonna keep blowing up the smoke. I'm gonna commentate this fight a little bit. When you look at this, as I broke down the peekaboo style, you got to ask yourself, is there a way to expose the peekaboo? And that's one of the questions that I'm gonna get into right now. Is yeah, Ingemar Johansson exposed the peekaboo for some of the things that it does not allow you to do. So I had to make sure that we added a wrinkle, and the peekaboo limits you with your ring generalship when it comes to being pressed backwards. So you either hit a person head on or you push them back. It wasn't designed to fight going backwards. So that was a hole in it. So we developed the proper training drills in the peekaboo training program for you guys. And I don't know how many of you out there coaching, how many of you are enthusiasts, what part of the world you're from, but it was important that we created that. So we're going to give you a free gift tonight as you are tuning in to the fight. Take a moment and learn a little bit of what it takes to develop the peekaboo style. And we wanted all of you out here, for the sake of Christmas time coming up, Black Friday, the peekaboo right here. And you go up there, you can get that. Make sure you download it. Go up to the website. The link is in that description. What you're going to learn is that there are a variation of training punches that you learn how to use when you are in the peekaboo style. And with that being said, it's uber important that you don't play with it. I'm putting it right here in the comment box. I didn't see it go up, but take it serious. If you do it, don't play with it. Oh, that's the wrong link. I got to get the right link. Let me make sure it gets put up there. It should have popped up in there. What you're going to learn is there are a variation of training punches that you'll learn how to do. Let me put this thing in here. Give me 1 second. I just want those to, gosh, I can't remember. I pull it up right here and check it out. When you are, okay, peekaboo, let me copy this. I got you guys. Put this in here for you. And what I'm doing right now is giving you, all of you, with our new initiatives that we got going into 2021. The 2021 initiatives is make sure we paying homage to those who are on the front lines. So that right there is the link. We're going to make sure that we take care of the veterans, those who are military based. Will get full scholarships into the School of Boxing, and so they can learn. Those who are first responders, medical people, you will be able to. So if you're in the medical field, if you're a military, make sure you contact us. We're going to give you a scholarship, and then you can apply what you learn on this. So get this download right there. It's free. We want to make sure that you're learning these things that you're able to see right now front and center, because it makes more sense to you when you really can learn it. So click that link. All you got to do is download it, and it's the freebie to really show you the peekaboo style and the variations of how you throw the punches. And it's excerpts from our real video, but take it and really learn the repetition that we do in the boxing gym, and how you get into that zone, and how you start to bring out that monster, and you start to let them hands go, and you start to throw. And that there are so many different tricks we use when we throw punches, that it's just not throwing punches. You know what I mean? Like, you think this thing is going to your head, and I'm going to your liver, and all of the different variables that come down to throwing and giving you that false sense of security in your defense, and us breaking it into pieces. So it's a beautiful thing. There's nothing better than the sport when you got it and when you operate at the highest level of it. It's good. So take that. That's our gift to you. And remember, if you are first responders, we don't take that light. Going into 2021, we will make sure that we don't miss any hooks of the C, any I's on the dots on the I, or any cross it of the T's. It's the fifth round here. Next segment, what we're going to do is go over the style in which Roy Jones fights in, which is somewhat of a cutie style, very athletic. He uses a lot of athleticism. So I want to know if any of you are in the sport of MMA, or if you are training in the boxing world, or if you're an enthusiast, if you got something and you've been on our page because you got something, or you here to watch the fight and hear the scores and listen to the commentating, or if it's your first time, let us know. It's your first time. You see what we do. We give you some stuff. In the next segment, what we're going to do before we go into that Roy Jones things is really talk about what's hot now. And if you guys have not seen or played Oculus, oh my gosh, it is absolutely the joint. And I think it's just going to move Fight Night. We won't even need Fight Night. So here, an excerpt from last week's show. We really got into this thing, but it was fun. And this is
and
thrill of
speak
the
to
fight.
the people. And coach is going to come
Now
live
check this out.
December 1st and
This
box
is the
last
Oculus.
week to go check out fight. What's the name?
That
Boxing
Oculus
game.
is awesome.
And our guy Fleming
out.
told us last
This
week
is
to go check
this
out
is Creed, but
fight.
thrill
What's
of
the
the
name
fight
of it?
pops up
Fleming,
on
put it
the
in the comment
event.
box.
It's so interactive.
The name of it.
I've been away
gosh,
all
it
weekend.
is so cool. It's a boxing
week,
game on
basically,
Oculus. My son
doing,
played it last night.
You know, get away
I'm going to get my
for
work in today.
Thanksgiving.
I mean,
Just
I'm
got back,
literally
like I said,
getting
to do
a
the
super
fight.
workout.
And
you see the
this
two-pack
right here,
abs. Getting it popped.
that Oculus is crazy. You can just be
No, you
anywhere
got
in the
virtual.
world. Look
How's
at that.
it? Oh,
Check it out.
Whoa.
get that thing.
Man, it is so
Black
realistic.
Friday for
And
yourself.
I'm telling you,
It will
I'm
be
an
the
avid
best gift
believer
you've ever
in
given yourself.
the beauty of what's our joint fight night, but fight night, it can't hold a stick to this. You don't even need names. You don't need big names. You don't need to be fighting George Foreman. You don't need to be fighting Danny Garcia. Man, thrill of the fight, you're fighting. I mean, you got to train, you got to hit the bag, and you know, you get these different. So that's one of the things that's hot now. You get to hit the speed bag. I mean, it got the vibrations. You can feel the weight of the bag when you strike it. Then you go in there, you can do your not just your heavy bag, your speed bag, and your double limb bag, and it keeps you on that peekaboo. So I use the peekaboo style when I'm doing that slip bag, because I don't just want to punch. I want to keep my torso in my trunk. I done lost the weight. I look like I'm lean. I look nice and like a mean machine with it. So I'm in there boxing at 4 a.m. in the morning, getting this I'm soaking wet, getting that work. So if you got an Oculus, if you don't, that's one of the best gifts you can get yourself so you can fight, because you definitely won't be seeing fight night no time soon. They got to finish with their contract with the UFC before they even get on it. So EA Sports, you know, they are not in favor of boxing like that. So you got to go over to their Oculus and get thrill of the fight and let them know you heard it here. I will put the link in the description so you can check it out. You can go to oculus.com, and that thing is the Oculus Quest 2. Get that and that thrill of the fight. I mean, you can work. And when you get in the ring to spar, I mean, it's real. You working. You put your mouthpiece in, you train, you get in there, you can boom, pow, throw them shots, you can move. And so if you ain't able to go to the gym, you can do that until you can get back to the gym. But it is the joint. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Anybody got an Oculus out there? Let me know where you from. I simulated a fight between Roy Jones and Mike Tyson on fight night for Xbox 360. Tyson won 3 out of 3 by KO. Hey man, there's a reason why this dude is why he got so much love and why people love to see him so much, because he is the real deal and he is to be feared. Badu Jack fights in the 6th round. One interesting thing, what you say, I'm trying to catch it. Grunt walk going and driving them body shots in, coach. Good. And what my man Neil from the School of Boxing, make sure you hashtag your stuff, man, because we got people from all over the sanctioning bodies watching. And in December, you guys are going to learn at the very beginning of December, Neil, why these things are going to be important, and a couple of beautiful components being added to the School of Boxing for value purposes for you guys that separates you from the rest. And there's just such a beautiful addition coming, several, and you'll be very hell spent to know that I'm going to speak to that right now, because when I break these segments up and repost it, I want to be clear to the guys in the school that when you go into the next quarter, you won't just have the skill drills, you'll have programming. So your programming, and that's Q3. So Neil, you're not even there yet, but you'll get there. You take your test, and we're gonna have a beautiful ceremony for you guys when you graduate from the fundamentals course. It'll be beautiful. It's gonna be, we're going to have guest speakers, and you're going to get your diploma for that sector of the programming. So you'll be completed. It's going to be just an immaculate thing to see people who in the fight game get recognized with diplomas and degrees to prove and show your hours put in, you're credited, the dedication, your clinics attended, accredited, everything that matters to all of these individuals out here in the world that are avoiding and eluding us as in the fight game. They can't overlook these things. So when you go into Q3, you will not only be able to see good skill and trap. And when I say trap, meaning you got to execute, you got the video, you have to post, but you're going to have programs to do, like not just skills to learn, but programs to do, formats. So I can't wait for you guys to get in it. And Neil, you've been a serious growing testimony. So for that, brother, I thank you. Continue to learn, because there are fighters out here on this feed right now that are going to be reaching out to guys like you. So always hashtag you're the School of Boxing, which is hashtag TSOB. Shouts out to YouTube, all my YouTubers out there. Let us know where you're from. Let us know where you at. If you're in the fight game, or if you're just an enthusiast learning or wanting to learn, or if you're a boxing historian, drop your comments in the comment box. If you really want to follow up, make sure that you see this cool feed that we're going out and giving to everybody. We want to make sure that you learn that there's not just we just don't do this for play. We do it for real. And there's a process in learning this stuff. And Neil can tell you, right, Neil? He's learning and learning on the job, but getting it right. There you go, bro. There you go. I like when I chop it up that I see my brother's names up there. It's official. There will be nothing like what we're doing. Going into 2021, the separation will be obvious once again. So um, I'm telling you, Badu Jack is bringing that heat. This kid was 13-0. It's talking about he gonna introduce Badu Jack to levels, and Badu Jack made it clear, man. I don't fought 8 straight world champions. The dude don't understand what levels is, and that's unfortunate that the young man's coach is not telling him that if you haven't fought a world champion, you have not fought for real yet. World champions fight. It's different. So you guys in these gyms, man, and you still amateurs, or you ain't even fought amateur, you need to stop it. It's not the same thing when you get in the ring with these guys. And even if you get in the ring at the gym and spar, they don't give it back to you. They don't fight on sparring on when it's time to spar. They learn during sparring. So they're just utilizing you. Yeah, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. We all in this thing together. Who is this? My man. Yeah, you dislike. That's cool. Everybody love to get it popping. Share the fight. Magnum boy. I tell you what, you do this. You can go buy the fight and we can talk about the fight. But I don't work too hard for my family and for my legacy to give it up and give it away and surrender everything that I've earned to turn somebody on who don't even know my first name. You are in the wrong mindset, young man. You need to really get your realities in check. People just don't ask people that you don't know for something that you don't own or earn. You haven't done anything for me, so don't ask anything of me because I haven't asked anything of you. So don't be in people's lives just taking. If you're going to do anything, give something. Why don't you donate the pay-per-view to somebody tonight instead of asking for something for free? You're asking me to lose my rights to post on YouTube and Facebook by showing you a fight that's pay-per-view. Yeah, I've paid for it on my television, but I'm not going to surrender my rights to watch and post again because you want to watch the fight because you didn't order the fight because evidently you didn't get the money that you needed to go and buy the fight because that's a choice thing, bro. So don't put me on, don't ever do that. People out there watching, never allow somebody to encourage you to do something that will get you in trouble and them just what they wanted. Man, that's a character thing. Shame on you, son. You out of your mind. You must don't know me. Yeah, the fight is 49.99. And guess what? Getting struck off, getting my account banned from YouTube and Facebook is worth hundreds of thousands. And I ain't doing that for nobody. And the fact that I'm turning you on to score and commentate the Mike Tyson fight, don't thank me for that. Like that's my time. I could be hanging out with my lady and my son, kicking it and chilling. You know what I mean? I'm trying to do something. You got guys want more. Man, you don't even know the other side of me. I don't have 200,000 followers because I'm just that soft guy. I do this for real. And don't ever play yourself like that with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm in bed with the top. And when it comes down to it, the only way you get here is operate this way, meaning check all your boxes to make it to the highest level where you can order your fights. You know what I'm saying? We all paid, man. Yeah. I appreciate you being on the channel, man, but realize this, brother. It one day you will have these things. You will have everything that you want, but you got to listen and you got to follow the process, and sometimes it takes you a little bit longer, but when it start coming, man, that stuff start coming fast and hard, and you look back and say, man, it was worth the sacrifice. So I always got to give you the positive message, and when it start coming, man, you're just going to be abundantly, and you're probably the kind of guy that'll buy anybody anything. And when that's said and done, that's commendable. But reach that point where you can. Reach that point where you can show up at the fight. Reach the point that you can order the fight for a whole club full of people. Have your whole crew over and stuff like that. But don't make it a habit not to ask somebody for something, ask somebody to get in trouble for you. I'm not going to do that, man. I got a family. And I'm also setting an example for all of these. I got 182,000 people follow me just on this page. I got 4 pages on Facebook alone. I got dubs on YouTube, and I got 100,000 almost over on Instagram. I'm not going to lose my social media following that depend on me because the dude wanted to watch the fight. So just understand and respect that and stuff. But I do respect the fact that you did have the courage to ask and apologize, but just understand my stance. I just try to encourage you to go out there and become a winner by doing the real stuff. You know what I mean? You probably got a lot of good ideas. Put them into action, man. Just put your ideas into action. Put one foot in front of the other. That's how we always do it in the school of boxing. And if you ain't going to do anything, get around a group of brothers like this who are doing it and helping each other and figuring things out along the way. COVID came and threw a monkey wrench in all of our game. And what we had to do is galvanize and get right into position, tuck our chin strap, bring them elbows in, and work the body and commit. Everything is your fortitude is gonna be tested. Jack truly walked this man down. Yeah, he did, man, because he tried to make it clear to this guy, man. You gonna tell me his levels? You don't even know what they are. Don't let your egos get you in trouble and write a check that your butt can't cash. And that's what happened. This dude, his ego made him write a check that his butt couldn't cash. And now he's in a position where he cannot take that back. And when it's all said and done, he should have just watched what he was saying, because you in there with a real one. That when you in there with Badu Jack, his Coach Duvall, he know about that peekaboo. He got him on. He got them boys on it. Yeah, the WBC is so generous. As you see back there, we got the WBC in the building. Shouts out to Jill. Um, she's the backbone of the WBC, for shooting me some of that info on that black belt, Black Lives Matter belt. I'm not into a bunch of slogans and stuff, but it's just the homage that they pay to the African American culture. So mass shouts out to Jill Diamond over at the WBC, President Mauricio Suleiman, president of the WBC. Those guys are doing an amazing job and an immaculate support group and team over there. So I'll have them back on the show again, and you all will have an opportunity to ask questions. It is very important that we create our sanctity and our surrounding in our sport, and make sure that we edify and pay homage to the people who are actually active in it. You don't have to take, you know, people's trash out, but you have to pay homage and try to realize what it takes to do something at the level these guys are doing it. The WBC has a ton of people on staff that don't even work for a paycheck. Okay, they are volunteering to do work, and it's a lot of work, man. I can't possibly make you understand what it takes to run an organization such as the WBC and have the people to come on board, and then to still have such a presence with they have such a humane touch on their athletes and the supporting cast. They're opening up sanctions centers all over the globe, Africa, Puerto Rico, all India, everywhere. And that's happening as we speak. Like they didn't have touchdown in all of these places, but now they're touching down in all of these places. So more athletes have an opportunity to become athletes. So shouts out to you guys all. You're doing a great job at the WBC. And that's why I chose them to do work with, to have them on the show, to support everything that they're behind, to become partners, and making sure that there's a clear understanding that we're not only grooming the top coaches and stuff in the sport, but we're supporting the top brand in boxing, which is the World Boxing Council. Another concert song. Let me see who it is. I'm trying to see if that's my boy from NC. They're getting it in, man. The concerts is popping. Yeah. I know that you really appreciated seeing that, Pete. When a guy get walked down, he stayed to the process, and that's what I tell everybody to do. When the game gets tough, I got my man Calvin Sneed, coach. What's up? Do you hard spar with your boxers the majority of the time, or do you believe in 50% for educational purposes? So the fact that we spar every single day, you go at 30%, because what you're doing is learning muscle memory, and you can't thump every day or the body will break down. You'll have a short-lived career. Thing about it is, when you turn it on at the end of the week, you turn it on, unless we're gonna go do a smoker. I mean, and go up and work and test where we are in the waters, or allow them to test where they are. And it's a two-way thing. So we go constantly. Now that 30% turns into 60%, turns into 90%, and ends up in the 100 percentile range. We don't bump, go in there, hike the ball, and go at 100% throughout the week. But every drill, you commit everything to. because you have to have what we call change up speeds. So you have to throw different variations at your fighter, your athletes. And when you do that, what happens is the guy can't predict what you're going to do. So it's very important that you have the ability to go at every pace, every speed. So when you are fighting, I tell the guys go at 30%, throw your punches at 30%, boom, 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 and you will find that you can get off more punches. You become more accurate because you're touching to find the holes, pop, pop, pop. And that takes a lot of drill. So we drill, and anyone who understands, we spar every day. And there's levels, there's drills, and then there's full out blast sparring, smokers, we call it. What Mike Tyson and Roy Jones is going to do tonight is a smoker. We don't know how it's going to go, but it's a smoker. So that's a great question. A lot of you coaches out there don't understand that the only way you're going to find out is ask questions. When you have someone who's had the amount of time in the sport as me, this is where you find the opportunity to ask questions. Some of you enthusiasts, just ask. Don't be ashamed to ask, man. I don't care about that, because if I don't feel like I'm getting engagement, I'm going to enjoy my fight without having to do any of this, because this is selective. I don't get a check for this. And I'm also giving away stuff so you all can learn. I've been boxing for 3 years and I'm still not capable to fight anymore near to a professional. No, you're not. It's a constant learn. It takes a long time to become a great boxer. That's why I don't agree with Jake Paul being a professional. Well, we understand what Jake Paul is doing, but I do believe one thing. He's going to keep fighting YouTubers and people who are not real fighters, because if he ever steps in there with a real fighter, you'll understand why he's not a real fighter. But you can't knock the hustle. If the guys are allowing him to come into the ring like Eddie Hearn and whoever Triller, then he's doing something right. He'll learn his lesson, but he's a tough kid. Anytime you can go from nothing to millionaire status and get that kind of following, that's not easy, man. That dude works around the clock. His brother Logan said he worked so hard he had to cut 6 months off, but guess what? For 6 months, he didn't work on YouTube. He focused on himself, but the entire time he could pay his bills. How far can you go without working? He went 6 months. Are you working that hard? You got to work hard. Like followers, they just don't follow you. You got to be giving them something. So the fact that he got tens of millions of followers, that means he's giving them a lot. He's not a dude that just had a viral video and, you know, that's it. Like this dude built that following. This dude, and just because you got it on YouTube does not mean you're going to get it on Facebook, and does not mean you're going to have it on Instagram. He got it across the board. That takes serious work. So we can look at it in a negative way, or we could look at it in a reality. You got to have fortitude to ask. I mean, could you go knock on the door at the White House and convince them that you should be working as president? Like he's literally convinced them that he could be a professional boxer, and they allowed it. And it's because he's proven something. So let's not knock him. Just see what it looks like, and he's opening the door. But that was a great question, man. Very good, Trent. I want to hear your thoughts about the thing I said about Jake Paul. Yeah, that's what I said. Sorry if that came in. Hey, coach, knowing that this will be an exhibition, what will it be gaining or missing from this match, in your opinion? Well, it won't miss anything, but I feel like they should have done 6 rounds. Mike Tyson's building a channel, so that's what's going to come out of it. He's building a league, and that's why he agreed to everything that Roy said. Plus, Mike Tyson's never been a negotiator, and Roy is a negotiator. See, Roy saw the negotiations when he put the fight off the first time to put it into the end of November because he needed to get in better shape because he was in horrible looking shape. Two, He really didn't want it with Mike back then when he was seeing that first footage. He had to find a way to get back to where the best that he could get to. So what you're gonna see come from this fight is that you can catapult into another degree of something that you weren't. Roy wasn't in great shape. You can go back to October, I mean, in September and see that. So he catapulted to being in better shape mentally. Then Mike Tyson, one of the things I haven't seen from Mike Tyson, and I love the growth of Mike Tyson, but he's never still become a good negotiator because he could have negotiated. No, I don't want 8 rounds. I want 4 rounds. This would have been much more intriguing at 4 rounds, but we all know what it's going to play out to be like after 4 rounds with Mike Tyson because he coming in there to bring that smoke. When you see Roy not only asked for more money, he asked for a later date and he asked for 8 rounds. He's a negotiator, he's a manipulator. So he's gonna get in the ring and manipulate the ring as well. So for those who fight in the style of Roy, you're gonna find that what comes of this fight is how to manipulate situations. And that was round one. And that's how Roy Jones does. He didn't have leverage, but he utilized leverage because he know how bad Tyson wants to build his network, that league. So he knew that Tyson would be more susceptible to saying, "Yeah, I'll do it." And he also knew that Tyson isn't a great negotiator because he had Don King negotiating for him before as a promoter, him getting that network money, and that's why Showtime paid him 30 million a fight, which that was unheard of. They had never agreed upon 30 million for your career, let alone a fight. So this fight will basically let people like Jake Paul into the door. Triller, who's not a fighting platform, into the door of the fight game. Total entertainment. It's opening the door to the new era of social media, which is anybody who's hot can be anything. And that's what this is going to do. That was a great question, man. I love when you guys utilize the thought process. You're probably losing your home to COVID. Hey, man, I pray for you. Whatever you do, don't quit. Keep fighting. Whatever you got to do, it's a real thing. Some of your cancers, YouTube. Yeah, give us commentary or show us the fight. YouTube bag. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I got you covered. Can't wait to block you off the page. Did I miss the fight? No. It's about to come on, Sydney. And please, everybody, uh, that dude that left that comment, make sure you chop him up in the comment box. Boy, I got brothers out here. Black Lives Matter. Lives matter. Fighting matter. Boxing matters. Yeah. Yeah. You're definitely right. I gotta keep it real, Kev. Kevin, shouts out to you, brother. These cats. No, the fight is about to start and I'm gonna commentate it. So yeah. For those of you who are here and trying to figure out um if we're showing a fight, no, we're not showing you the fight. Um, go get a job and you go see the fight. Just stop begging. Mm-hmm. He don't move up and down in the divisions to seek better opponents. His promoters suck because he don't want to lose his belts. Huh? No. Yeah. You know, once you get into the real world of boxing, live stream for free. Okay. If somebody's saying they got a live stream for free, they're willing to sacrifice. No, sir, I'm not showing the fight. And for everybody who think we showing the fight, no, I gotta roast them. It's a thing, man. Guys, Man, y'all got to realize people read your comments later and they looking at you like you that guy. Just to be real when it comes down to it, don't be that guy because ain't nothing cool about it. If you broke, don't let people know you broke by the match will be on in about, oh, Jake Paul. I'm gonna commentate this one because no, Cisco, we not showing the fight. I'm not pay-per-view. I'm the fight show. You know, we put a show on. We don't show the fight. We not showing the fight, but we will give you guys some insight and all of that good stuff. Good mindset. That's right. You gotta have it, man. It's all positive. Now, Jake Paul has fought once before. Nate Robinson has never fought. And when you see that when these guys are talking in the pre-fight and he's like, I'm a great athlete and I wanted to prove that I can fight. Well, one thing you better know one thing. You can play basketball, you can play soccer, but you don't play boxing. It's not a sport to come test your athleticism because boxing is it's not about being athletic. Shadow boxing and pretend boxing in the mirror acting like Rocky is one thing. But when you get in here, now watch. Jake Paul and Nate and Nate about to fight. And he's about to learn something. One, you don't get in there, you fight your first fight against a guy that's bigger when you are less skilled and less experienced. It makes no sense. It's about to go down. It's time to box. Nate Robinson comes out, chasing him down. Oh man, Nate got on basketball shoes as they. Oh, Nate fighting as a southpaw. Oh man, Nate moving though, but that athleticism goes out the window in a very short amount of time when you boxing. Yeah, it's different when you're doing crossovers opposed to eating hooks. So Nate's rushing in, and he probably never looked that bad playing basketball, even when he first started. But you know, it's it's the difference, man, between playing baseball, basketball, and boxing. He gonna get knocked out more than likely because he's given up too much weight. It's a lack of experience. They both aren't experienced, but at the same time, you don't play boxing, and it does not transfer to from basketball. I mean, that's why guys have to build muscle memory. I talk to my guys all the time about muscle memory. Muscle memory is built over years and years. The mistakes you make will cost you exponentially. So you have to continue. Even when you're in 10 years into your pro career, you're still building muscle memory because there are mistakes that are making you pay. So you're trying to tell me you can come into the sport brand new and those mistakes ain't gonna be visible because you athletic? That's when you're usually gonna make more mistakes because you think that your athleticism will compensate. He knocked Nate out with a hook. First round. Yeah, he's saying he got hit to the back of the head, but he got hit with a hook. Yeah, he looks real bad, like I said he would. I didn't need to even see this fight, but I knew that you can't just come into a fight as a pro fighter. You ain't had no amateur career. All you've done is dunk basketballs and play in the NBA. That is not boxing. You do not play boxing. And that's what happens when these guys come into our sport thinking Too Tall Jones did it for the Dallas Cowboys. Many others have tried. But tonight, he has a very rude awakening. This is not sports. You do not play boxing. Now, Nate Robinson is a 3-time dunk contest. Could jump out the gym, 43-inch vertical, dunk, and play for the Knicks. Absolutely freak of nature. But when it comes down to fighting, that has nothing to do with none of it. So if any of you are thinking about fighting because you're watching YouTube and old videos, you better wake up. This is an example of what's going to happen to you when you go in the gym and spar. And even if you have any success in sparring by fighting another cab driver, the reality is when you get in there for real against a dude who really box, he's going to expose you to death. Yeah, Nate Robinson realized this is real. Now he coming out suffocating them, tying them up, and realizing, okay, Jake Paul can punch. Yeah, he can't even land a punch. See, the athleticism doesn't have anything to do with muscle memory because it's not something that you've done your entire life under pressure with punches coming at you, being exhausted, bodies bumping on you, all of those different layers of physicality and mentality and endurance. And just when you don't see punches, because when you're trying to throw, you're trying to concentrate on throwing punches. You don't realize that the other guy's throwing punches too. Like you got to you got to collect the data and understand how to do that. He's down again. Yeah, he's realizing this stuff is real. Yeah, overhand right. And see, it's just like getting hit with a baseball bat over the head, and you're like, "Oh man, what the heck just happened?" All the muscles. He looked good though. He should model, but this is boxing. He's knocked out, unconscious. He knocked him unconscious. That's what'll happen to you if the guy in the gym don't take it easy on you. I mean, he's laying flat on his face. He's gonna hate to see YouTube tomorrow. He's gonna hate to look at Twitter. He's gonna shut his Instagram account down. He's still asleep. You can see what they saying on TV now. You can play basketball, you can play football, but you can't play boxing. That's these, man. They got doctors in the ring. And see, this is what I'm telling you, cats. No, you can't fight because fighters fight. Fighters fight. Y'all, I'm stern with this because, um, no, I'm not gonna show the show you clown. You better get off my channel because you're gonna get banned as soon as I get off of this feed. And y'all need to check this cat in my feed because he don't know me. Like I ain't that and you go somewhere. That's why your girlfriend somewhere getting it from the back, chump. You don't know me, man. All you got to do is message me. You know, I have a gym. You can come and get this smoke, son. You better watch who you talking to. I'm not the one. You scum bucket. TSOB in the building. No, Sergio. Go buy it. Freeloader. He said, "Don't nobody want to see me, but he's on my channel. I'm the one with 182,000 freaking followers. Somebody want to see me, clown. I bet you are that guy with 0 people following and no freaking thumbnail as a profile picture. You're that guy. The yeah, I don't have to ignore it, man. I'm making bank. I run an organization. My brand is very, very efficient and effective. I'm totally confident. I'm living good, and I'm definitely in a better situation than that dude. I will never stoop to that cat's level. Zero. I mean, I can't imagine what it feels like to be that person. He can't even spend $49 to watch a fight. I work too hard not to be able to spend $49. But that's really going backwards in life. So I can't down that dude. They low enough already. Imagine not having 40 bucks in your pocket on the holiday. His life is depressing enough. Let's get it. Who else out there going out themselves? They ain't even got NAB money. Let's go. Yeah, Jake Paul doing the thing, man. Jake Paul doing the thing. That was crazy. Bust Nate wide open, face first. That's what's gonna happen to you. All them cats talking. Show up at the gym. That's all you got to do. How easy to find. You can get this work for real. I'm about that life. You know what I'm saying? Trouble child. I like to knuckle up, especially with them other trouble child children. I'm gonna pull a Jake Paul on you. Come on in here, Nate Robinson. Come get this smoke. Nate got knocked unconscious, man. I hope he recover full circle. Cause the way he ate that, 3 times he got knocked down hard. The last time he ate canvas. This guy's crazy, man. Snoop Dogg in the building. Sugar Ray Leonard in the building. Adesanya, UFC middleweight champion. Stylebender in the building. Yeah, man. I'm from the fight game, man. You guys out here, you from the clown game. Let's get it right. New Zealand in the building. Yeah, Nate need to get woke up. He gon' I just don't want these guys to think you can just do this, man. And I'm on my coaches all the time. I'm on my coaches all the time about understanding that there are levels because you get a little confidence and you start coming out here with these guys and thinking, yeah, you done made it, man. Once there's never happens. You never all the way there. You're never all the way there. You always got to keep on being humble, humility, because you got to develop the level of savage and be able to channel it and keep it with blankets on top of it and pay homage to where you came from. I protect the lineage of boxing, all of the greats. I'm connected. 3 generations. I'm protecting my lineage and the lineage of boxing. All these guys out here from the outside of the sport of boxing, go back over there and start playing badminton and what you was doing before. But when it comes down to this, you ain't got no blood in this game. You ain't got no mud in this game. All you got is broke pockets and begging tactics. Begging, begging, begging. People, don't surround yourself with that. Get to a place where people around you are winning. They're not only ordering fights, but they able to fly you to fights. That's what you do. Surround yourself with success. And when we come down to it in the school, it's going to show you the level of success you will gain. And then this next chapter, man, it's just so fire. I'm so excited about it. Just uber excited. Oh, yeah. So Jake Paul is up there talking about his boxing documentary that's coming out, and he's getting ready to get back on his music. And that's what happens, man. When you work hard, you can do whatever you want to do. Everybody's going to say, "Well, you're not a fighter." No, he's not just a fighter. He's an entrepreneur, and he's doing it. Like, he's actually doing it. He's not sitting around getting high with his friends, sitting on the couch getting fat. He's becoming successful, and in 20 years it'll be because of these sacrifices in which that he'll be able to pass this on to his kids and have something instead of hanging around people that bring you down, like these clowns on the feed that don't understand nothing. And when it's all said and done, you're building while these guys are hating. And look, they're on your feed because you built something and they can't and they won't and they will never. But you got to pray and make sure that anybody who's trying to come into any success, that you take a step by step. And the first thing you got to do is surround yourself with people who are doing something. And I'm not only doing something, I'm investing in people who are wanting to do something. So people with a real skill set, you got to have people and you got to have money behind you. And we are putting money behind you. And it's important that you know what you want, you know how to get it, you know, and you've written it out. And when you sit in front of somebody like myself who can write you the check to get you to where you want to get to, then you have your stuff together. All right. Because I don't play around. I'm about the life for real. And I respect those who are willing to grind. So I respect the guys like Jake. He's done something that is unthinkable. And 5 years ago, you wouldn't even that wouldn't even seem possible, but he's in the record books for making something possible that was impossible. Logan did it, and now Jake, his brother, did it, and he ain't scared to call these cats out. But he's staying in his lane. He fighting social media stars. Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. are about to fight, and it is about to go down in this joint. Yeah. Where can you watch the fight for free? You should have did that research before you came on. Nobody's showing the fight for free, dude. But you should have got 49 friends and y'all all pitched in $1. I mean, no, JG, I ain't showing you. I'm showing you the picture of Roy Jones and them. Yeah, man. I'm gonna shut up. That's why you on my feed. These guys are on my feed. That's just like somebody coming at your house, eating your food, and telling you that they want more or your food won't good enough, and so they're gonna go starve somewhere else. The analogy, and these are what we call, and I don't really allow people to, push that button, but that's your obvious loser, dude, who's always gonna blame other people for doing something and they not benefit from it. They will never have the fortitude to go out and make stuff happen. But you got to pray for these guys. You got to pray for them because at the end of the day, somebody ain't train them. They ain't get no home training. Roy Jones is on the mic. Roy's training a buddy of mine's son, Michael Williams Jr. Get it popping. Shouts out to Michael Williams Jr. Up and coming. He's about 20 fights in and undefeated. He can fight. Got them hand skills and put them hands on you. So shouts out NC in the building. Roy finally got a fresh cut too. Got a fresh ball. Yeah, Roy ain't stupid. Roy's smart. I'm gonna explain why you don't get into these type situations without understanding. Once again, I'm gonna show you guys. Go back up here. I'm giving you guys an opportunity to have that peekaboo boxing. Check it out. I'm giving it so you guys will learn how when you're training. That training is not easy, and there's so many layers to it. So you'll get to see the expert at work showing you and teaching you the skills. So go up and get that peekaboo. It's for free. It's not the whole video. Don't think you can get 3 hours of freaking training, but it's an excerpt to show you specifics, what it takes to really develop the peekaboo style and the many layers that go into it. So I don't know if any of you understand the dynamics of what Mike Tyson actually did. But when he would go in there and get in the paint and create those angles, how did the angles get created besides hopping? What went into the development and the drills and the skills to get that? Look, it's not what you assume, but when you get to see the layers get peeled back, it starts to make more sense. And then when you watch other fights, you start to realize how difficult it is, how much goes into it, and you'll really respect the sport and say, stop saying things like, I want to try boxing. Like, if you want to try boxing, you got to live it for like a decade. So if you didn't start at 9 or 8 years old, don't even think about doing it like that's going to be my career. Think about learning it enough so you can help others and live the dream through others who are young enough to really do it, or get you some fights. But there's a process in doing it all. There's a process in doing it all. Come out here and get up. I'm going to show you Mike Tyson talking. Yeah. Mike Tyson's a cool dude. Mike Tyson's a real one. He said, whatever I'm afraid to do, I just do it. And that's my suggestion to all the people who are afraid to get a job. Just go do it. When you shadow box, put these hands on, these hands right there. Put that work in with them power fits. When you can do that, them power hit, when you can do that, pop, 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 get them shoulders right. I do my little shadow boxing with them before I get that work in on that Oculus. What's hot now? Shouts out to Oculus Quest 2, Thrill of the Fight. Get that thrill of the fight. And that is not being sponsored. I'm just trying to let you guys in on some serious cool stuff that when you're at the crib, you can really get it popping. If you ain't going to the gym, or even if you is at the gym, just to get that little excerpt, man, it's super cool. But try those power fits, man. The link in the description. Shadow box with them. Yeah, you getting the work in, man. These boys is putting it up. They're putting it up. Constant music. This is the way they should keep it, man. At first, I wasn't sure. Wiz Khalifa came out and spit some bars, a couple of tracks. He did like 4 songs. I wasn't sure when he first came out if this was a good setup because there's no people in the audience, but they got a great set. You guys will see it tonight. You'll see highlights and everything. I'll post something. I'm gonna put something together and post it up, but I'm not doing it during my live stream. I'm not gonna let it interfere with my numbers. You out of your mind. But when it's all said and done, when you watching your boys, they're getting it popping. And you probably can already catch those live on YouTube, those excerpts, because Triller is trying to get in the game. They're trying to move over, like TikTok. They trying to take that spot. TikTok done made some moves. When Walmart buy you, you know they serious. So the Walton family, they got all the money. Believe me. So, but when the second song, when he got in there and started kicking that black and yellow, he started kicking his anthems. I said, this could work. This could work. This could work. And the rest of the show, after the first 3 minutes, was fire. This has been a good card, entertaining fights. I gotta go back and watch the Badu Jack because I really missed that whole thing. Who else watching the fight? If you're watching the fight, uh oh, I see a dude said he's streaming. Yeah, if you're streaming, man, if you ain't into learning nothing, go watch the fight. Like my man said, he got a stream right there. Go do that, man. But I ain't into that. I'm living good. I ain't trying to play myself. Life is too good to be blowing it for some cats you don't even know. So be smart. But this is gonna be a good, entertaining first few rounds. After that, the reality will settle in that Roy is coming to survive early as possible and to peck and poke. And that's what you have to do. Can you take the peekaboo style and you can expose it? Absolutely. You have to know how to frustrate him, turning him and not allowing him to plant his feet. Then you got to know how to push him backwards. So you clench him and you walk him. You got to get low. Your center of gravity, you got to be low. Or you got to be shoulders above him. And you got to be heavy up top. But when you can turn and know how to use your hips, you got to learn all that. That's craft. You can't just do it because you saying I'm going to do it. There has to be a level of understanding that you got to sacrifice something. And you got to be willing to go into the belly of the beast. Whenever you're talking about going in there against a guy who's a savage, all right, a guy that's a savage and has an entire package and can throw them uppercuts and hooks. So how do you actually get in there? First thing, you got to play on the outside of that shoulder. It's very important. If you training people and you don't know these things, you better make sure you get your schooling. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you think you are. When you coming into our realm, our world, the fight game, this ain't no Atari. This is not Oculus. This is not PlayStation 4. This is not PS5. It's not Nintendo. This is boxing. And this is the hurt business. And if you step across that line and you think you want to get that work, you're absolutely going to get that smoke. And you're going to be like Nate Robinson, face down, but you got 3 dunk contests on your mural at home. You got something to show for your hard work. But when you cross that line, you better be real. And you better not know. You better know that this game don't play and it don't take no prisoners. 1000%. Brian, my man. Yeah. Yeah, they cranking it up tonight, man. But I think they should do like the WWE. My son watches WWE. I think they should have the phony audience right there. Well, not phony audience. They got virtual audience. They should have did that. Thriller has spared no expense through this promotion. They've gone all out and they made a lot of money off Mike Tyson apparel and a lot of early sales on the pay-per-views. But I do think they could have did something a little bit different. They could have had that virtual audience. And boxing needs to go to that. They need to stop being cheap and go ahead and double down on it. Get that work. Let me see. Yeah, they're getting it bumped. You got the Snoop D-O double G. And he coming out blazing. This is what Mike Tyson used to do for all you youngsters who never ever had an experience of a Mike Tyson fight. Now, don't get it twisted. It was 10 times the magnitude of what this one is. But when it's all said and done, when Mike Tyson used to come out and fight, It's a big deal. Everybody, everybody. It doesn't matter if you from the world of golf, the world of football, politicians, senators, everybody galvanized to the Mike Tyson parties. And it used to be nothing that could ever warrant to match that. Kid was off the chain. I mean, what he brought, and now you got these people that surrounding him now, through Triller, and they taking the game to the next level with it as far as for this era, because they got you paying $50 for some sparring with tons of rules, but I think you're gonna get truly entertained for the first 3 rounds of this fight, and a spot here and spot there later. But it's gonna be just to see Mike Tyson walk down the ring. You guys are getting an opportunity to see Mike Tyson walk down the ring again. So special shouts out to those chaps over on YouTube, Mike, who are trying to see the fight, who couldn't break their piggy bank to get enough capital to raise to get this fight on, or didn't have 48 friends that they could all chip in $1. You at least have an opportunity to see what it looks like tomorrow when they start posting legal videos on YouTube, to see what goes into a Mike Tyson event. You'll be able to set the bar for the guys like Deontay Wilder, who don't understand how to build a brand the way that they really should, making everything only about them and not the principle of the sport. But formidable guy Deontay is formidable. I got to tip my cap where it's meant to be tipped. Anybody who can knock out 40 out of 40 men, I can't rain on this parade and hope he get back to where he wants to get back to. Shouts out to the Fury family. John, who I connected with John the day before yesterday. Good dude. Man, we're going to have some special people on the fight show, so I can't wait. Last week we had George the Ferocious Cambosis in the works now, getting that fight prep for Teofimo Lopez. So if you didn't watch that yet, go watch that on the channel or on the page. We're gonna actually put excerpts on it, like, so you can really hear the entire story of all of the good interview that we did with George Cambosis. Kell Brook will be coming up soon on the fight show as well. So keep it locked. It is going down. For those of you who are in the fight world, you know we break it down round by round. Snoop Dogg's getting the party jumping. And that's what happens when you're in the winning circle, people. That's what happens when you work harder than everybody else. You have accolades and you have A-list people that surround themselves with you. Other people, they can't even put up profile pictures because they're ashamed of themselves. Lack absolutely nothing. I love the way that Snoop, have y'all paid attention to the way Snoop has taken Corona beer and just gave them rebranding because people have stopped buying it? Their stock dropped 12 points and they started to freak out. So they wanted to get a hot name tied to them so they could really get their swagger back. And boy, did they do it. Because who's going to buy a beer that starts with the thing that has us in the house every day, quarantining? Corona. That's the power of hard working. Snoop has built the brand. He can do what he want to do on any platform because they've accepted him. Mike Tyson can do what he wants to do on any platform. He can walk into the church with the Pope and smoke a joint because he's earned his right, because he's built this brand. It's crazy. You can't do anything you want to do before you build your brand. But when you do, yeah, Snoop Dogg's getting it ripping. He's ripping it. I can't wait to commentate this fight and tell you how it goes down. This next segment We're going to get into it before they get it started. How we going to score it? Tonight, when you getting ready to watch a fight, which is a smoker, how you score that fight first is who has the best offense, meaning no matter how many punches the other guy throws, if his offense isn't very outstanding looking, these are things you got to score. Like, this is where the most mainstream novice fan gets it right. When it looks like the guy is winning a round, then it should be the guy who has the best looking offense, regardless of how fewer punches he throws. Entertainment is next. Who's the most entertaining? Like Sugar Ray would have been great sparring because he would have just been doing tricks and popping you on the head with that left hook or that uppercut, that bolo punch. Entertainment, because you're not in there just to win a fight. You're in there to entertain people who spent money to watch you do this. Very important that you don't get it twisted. The next thing, how do you score? Make sure you guys score this that way. Knockdowns. Knockdowns is a good way to score points in this kind of fight. If you can knock somebody down sparring, you deserve the round. These are the keys to our scoring tonight. Punch sound effects. If you can hit somebody and the punch sounds off, that's scoring. These are the criteria. I'm going to recant these. Best offense. What looks awesome. Most entertaining. Awesome. Knockdowns. Knockdowns are awesome. Punch sound effects, like Jake Paul just did to my man Nate Robinson. Punch sound effect. I hope that he's okay tonight, but boy, did he get caught with some right hooks and overhands tonight. He, from this point on, understands dunking a ball is not boxing. Snoop still rocking. Trilla did it all right. This is the direction in which our social media has gone, and it will always stay lit now. So if your kids are doing social media, you better watch them, because this is gonna be a smoker now. Let me see what else did I have on the agenda. See, this is the difference between watching a Mayweather joint, because when you watch Tyson, you know it's gonna possibly be a very good knockout, or you're gonna see some kind of explosive punches. Once again, I gotta put that peekaboo. That peekaboo. It's in the it's in the comment box. So check it out. If you haven't really been experienced to really working and training and hitting and knowing what it takes to punch with real elite fighters, like an elite fighter, you got to try the peekaboo. You got to try that peekaboo. It's the fire. It's down in the comment box. Our gift to you guys. And like I said before, if you're military, if you are from the medical field, if you are any of the first responders, policemen, medics, any of those firemen, make sure you go out, because we got scholarships for you guys. Contact us at support at masterboxingllc.com. We got some Uber special for you, and we can do that because we understand that it's all about paying everything forward, and the back end doesn't matter, because when you do enough good for people, the good stuff happens back to you. So just remember that, people. That's the bottom line. Don't take anything too serious, but keep moving your stuff forward. And we're looking forward to being able to help some of those individuals and those who are dealing in a serious scenario with the COVID. Because I just had a relative that had it not too long, this recently, And it's a real beast, man. So y'all be sure to wash your hands, cover your face. I don't care how bad you don't want to. All it takes is one germ to connect with you and ruin your day. The entrances are about to go down. For those of you who have not ever tried a training program that really teaches and shows you what goes into styles like what Mike Tyson's using the peekaboo, this is our excerpt. It's in the comment box. Check it out. It's very cool. Peekaboo. Who's doing that? And that's what we do. We give you all information about the sport, skills, the techniques, the training systems, how we condition, how we eat. It's important that we let you guys know because we got a bevy of coaches. Shouts out to all the coaches in the School of Boxing. Once again, looking forward to the next quarter going into. There are so many amazing things, new training programs for you, not just a process of learning skills and techniques, but your training program regimens that you'll have and utilize. And always remember that with each quarter, there's a progressive stage that you will enter. And this time it's just going to be different. It's going to feel different. It's going to look different. You're going to see what you look like when you blow up all the way. You're going to get some elements of that. So I'm uber important, uber excited. So for those of you who have never ever jumped or been a part of anything where you really learn, make sure you reach out. Check it out, schoolofboxing.com. This is where we get it popping. Woo! Peekaboo down in the comments. Learn why Roy Jones is gonna have his hands full for the first for the first freaking 3 rounds. Then it'll all pan out. I love to hear Sugar Ray Leonard talk when he talks about the skill. Anybody notice that Sugar Ray still looks the same as he did in the 80s, except for he just got a little less hair? That's crazy. Roger Leonard. Shouts out to Roger Leonard. That's Sugar Ray's brother. We're gonna have one of the Leonards on and kind of find out what was it like growing up with a guy like Sugar Ray when you were young. Because Roger, he boxed as well. So can't wait to get some of those stories. Hmm. He just mentioned Roger sparring. Sugar Ray just made it and affirmed that he used to spar with Roger and it was hard. And when you got a bigger brother, it's gonna be hard because you special, but he's bigger and older and he has experience. And it's important that experience always shines at the end of the day. This is gonna be y'all excited about seeing the Mike Tyson, the reenactment of Mike Tyson, the king of the ferocious throne, because he is in the house. Yeah, once somebody gets touched, Adesanya is speaking specifically to he not knowing what they calling this exhibition for. Because the minute you get touched and you in that ring, and a lot of 99% of you ain't never been in the ring training and doing this stuff, but when you get hit, no matter what kind of drills you're doing, things go blank for a minute, and then you kind of lose where you were, and you might start throwing like ain't no tomorrow. But they call it exhibition so it won't count on their records. That's the bottom line. But the bottom line on top of that is this is not just an exhibition because Mike Tyson don't know how to do an exhibition. That's why nobody's done one with him. And Roy Jones' ego is bigger than the earth is brown, blue, and green. He's not going to let anybody just dog him. He'll rather go out on his shield and get knocked out and knocked out he's been a multitude of times. So he is not afraid of any man. He loves to fight. And when you're a fighter, that's what's inside of your fiber, every fabric of your fiber. Predictions. Who are you predicting that will win this fight? Drop it down in the record on the comment box. Let's see who really has the natural cachet to pick a fight where you really don't know the winner. Who wins? And for those of you who will win, there will be a special prize, but just put it in the comment box anyway, because we just want to know. This is what we do on a fight show. The Fight Show, TFS. Okay, I think the rounds are 2 minutes. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what I just heard Mauro Ronaldo say. Legends only, Legends only league with Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. Now it's about to go down. And you see back there the green belt, Mike Tyson. I should read it to you guys what it says. It's a beautiful message to me. So and the team. So it's a beautiful thing, man. But that's what happens. That's what happens when you're doing stuff right. It looks so beautiful back there. Shouts out to the squad and staff over at the WBC, top sanctioning body in the game. Just mad love for you. And the way that you're going to be taking care of our people, it's just a beautiful thing. The next up and coming generation of coaches and fighters, it's just great, man. So if you are guys out there aspiring to fight, or you're a trainer or aspiring to be a trainer, contact us. Oh man, this is just so super cool. This is just so super cool. I remember back in the late 90s and early 90s, before everything jumped off with him, when he fought guys like Carl the Truth Williams, Pinklin Thomas, Trevor Burbick, Michael Spinks, uh, Marvelous Frazier, when he was just annihilating cats, man, inside of a round. And people just didn't realize that this dude, what he brought to the table, even Larry Holmes ate the canvas. I mean, he just was annihilating cats. So every time you see him coming out for a fight, it was just so crazy that this dude was just so immaculate with how he did what he did. And the way he brought that heat, he never had a second. He never came out playing. Cats had to figure out a new way to fight Mike Tyson. He was just he was just dynamic, man. Just dynamic with it. Yeah, I remember that too. They were speaking specifically to Roy Jones when he was in the Olympics and got cheated, and they robbed him of his Olympic status gold medal, and they found out that the cheating was a real, and still didn't overturn the decision, which it goes to show you. And I know everybody from all the countries in the world that's on this feed, because I got a ton of you under our tutelage, but there's just something against the US when we go and box, and they do not want us to dominate in boxing. And the scoring is just nowhere near where it should be. But that's why we're making moves in master boxing. We are not just talking about it, we're changing things on a large scale. And if you're down with us, make sure that you are aware that that's what we're doing. So when that's exactly what we're doing. And I'm privileged to be in this position to be able to do it. So shouts out to all of you out there who are in the comments getting it popping and who chimed in to lock in with us, whether it was good, whether it's negative. I understood, man, because I was in a boat where I didn't have it all together before. And I had that same angst and anger at times. And when it's all said and done, bro, keep pressing and things will change. Because it's one thing you better know. The only way to change is to change things. Just keep that close to vest. Yeah, man. Snoop is a true testament to a story, boy. The dude has climbed the ranks. Beautiful stuff. And I think what they're setting up to do is start the fight at like 12. So it's about 10 till. And believe me, more than you. I do not want to be sitting on that joint. Roy Jones coming out in purple and white. You know what, man? Roy looked good. He looked good. He looked real good. I know looks don't mean nothing, but man, when you get in there with Mike Tyson, you got to be ready though. But if some of those guys could stay in there, the few people that were able to Bone Crusher Smith, Fayetteville, North Carolina, when it comes down to a Quick Tillis, shouts out to the Tillis family. You probably watching. Very respectable family. Their father was a legend. Several people made it. Not a lot, but several people made it the distance. It takes a special man to make it the difference, but all those guys was big. Roy Jones is not the same size as those guys. Those guys were thick, heavy men, bones. Michael Buffer in the house. He taking a hiatus over to the UK, and out walks Roy Jones Jr. I'm gonna wonder if he's gonna pump out. Y'all must have forgot. Roy. Roy came out to his own music. Yeah, gotta make sure I turn it down. They'll flag you, man, on YouTube with that noise. There you go, King. For anybody who looking to see the fight, man, people, it ain't a lot of people streaming that thing like that, man. Triller is the real deal. You know, they Xing accounts, son. It's a lot of cats. I'm gonna tell you, just a lot of cats. Just type it in, man. For those who are looking to see it, somebody pop up. Somebody's stuff will pop up, but not here. This a real fight channel. It's from we are boxing. We're not part of that, you know, hanksy crowd that do all that stupid stuff, man. We've earned our stripes. We ain't losing them for nobody. And anybody want that smoke, you can look. My all the addresses that you can connect with us is up there on the page. Mike Tyson coming out. Mike Tyson coming out with the mask on. Let me see. I'm gonna put a joint up so people can see what this look like. Oh, you know I gotta put that one up. Mike Tyson got the towel. Mike Tyson should have been selling them towels. Mike Tyson, boy, that boy he's a phenom. that is one special dude. All right, I'm gonna pop the picture up on the screen in a minute. That's what I'll give you. I'll give you that. That ain't enough. You know what you can do, homie. Got my peeps. Oh, Neo about to sing the anthem. Let me see. Come on, please let that be. Come on, boy. Let me see one more time. That it didn't work that time. Huh, it wouldn't fit. Let me see. Neo putting it down. Show some respect to the Star Spangled Banner. Oh man. Even if you're not in the United States. Let me see. Man, he still have that same scrawl. Oh, shouts out to Christy Martin too. Go check out an interview that we did, a conversation that we had with Christy a couple months ago. We'll have her back on too. She's great. She used to open up for Tyson all the time. Then she became the big deal. Big deal. Christy's a class act. Roy Jones Jr. Tyson really looks relaxed, chill. But when you've been away from the sport this long, it's different. It's hard to pull that thing out. It's hard to dig down and crank that monster out. You know, you've gotten so civilized. With no more further ado, people, it's time to box. Very few people made it to the end with Mike Tyson. Him had 50 fights and 44 knockouts. Outside of the fights he lost, that's serious pain in the heavyweight division. I should use. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna put something on the screen for y'all. Oh man, this is so awesome. That's kind of stupid. They didn't even put them up there on the screen at the same time. They showed. Mike Tyson, Roy trying to. Tyson, look at there. Roy just trying to get out of that joint. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, Tyson. Get that work, baby. Mm. And I ain't no realize it was 2 minute rounds, so that's cool. He won't get so exhausted. But Roy ain't trying to get none of that smoke. Oh man, this is crazy. I can't believe I'm watching Mike Tyson fight Roy Jones right now. This is crazy. Just what people paid to see. Tyson. Oh my gosh, he got that peekaboo. Yo, that's crazy. I love to see that boy towards trunk move. Round one, you got to score who was most entertaining. All Roy did was entertain by moving and punch off awkwardness and all this stuff. So, you know, on the fact that he just didn't stand in there, I got to give it to Tyson because Tyson was trying to give it to him. I don't know who else is watching. If your feed is behind mine, well, yeah, 2 minutes was a lot for Mike. For those of you who don't know how hard it is to spar, 2 minutes is a long time. Yeah. Yeah, Roy, he ain't trying to mix it up there. Oh man, this is so unrealistic. Roy Jones is tying Tyson up with both hands and trying to work. Tyson's trying to work his hands free. So he just swings Roy around. But Roy is all strategy. Roy is trying to prevent from getting hit at all. Tyson smirking at him. Roy just running and pecking. Roy switching stances. And Tyson. Oh! Tyson fainted, went low, and came over the top. That's why I told y'all to get that peekaboo. Learn what those punches in the peekaboo is like. It's that fire. Yo. Yeah, Roy Jones is just tying him up. He does not want to fight. He's just trying to tire Tyson out, do whatever he can. Oh, Tyson landed some thunderous stuff. Yeah, Mike Tyson hit him out to the belt and hugged him because Roy was trying to sneak something. Man, Roy, I'm telling you, Tyson is a problem, man. Just to be 54 years old and to be able to do that. And some of you couldn't do it at 24 years old, let alone 54. And Mike Tyson, he ain't working too hard to last this entire time. So what you gotta know that Roy's like this. This is Roy. He's trying to do all kinds of stuff, and then he's like this. He felt that heat and he trying to tie him up. Yeah, man, Tyson can punch still, but Roy just he ain't trying to get hit in the head. He's keeping his head way off the line and he's punching like this at times. Oh, and Tyson came in with that head pop. Oh, sidestep, stepped around on him. And my guys in the school of boxing, Neil, you'll be able to attest to this. Where I said that you got the offense has to have three layers: a storyline, a bridge, and a chorus. Oh, he caught Roy. And storyline is how you set things up. Good jab, good foot positioning. The bridge is how you start to put the combination together to sting them. And the chorus is how you crush and execute the knockout stuff. Tyson, he got all knockout stuff. He has nothing else but the chorus. He's ready to go right into the hottest part of the song, straight out of the gate. Roy Jones, I think they had a little clash of heads. Roy Jones done went southpaw. This is cool to be able to see Mike Tyson in the ring again, though. Not some more. You should. I would have gotten someone who's as crafty and slick as Roy, because Roy just don't want to fight. Good body shot. Roy is just trying his best not to work. This is where Tyson used to really get these guys and feel out the move that he want to make and then set them up for it. I remember Larry Holmes was doing this kind of thing. Tyson got good spring in his legs. Man, he hopping really good. Like, wow. If he was 21 doing that, somebody would be asleep right now. But guys always try to be handsy with him. But what happens is the skill and the craft, whenever you're a fighter, man, you learn how to parry that stuff. And then he's hopped off to the side and he come up with that upright hand, that hook right hand. It's good night. But Tyson come here, boom, and come here, bam. That's when you hook them high and then hook them low. They're trying to cover the head, and then you hit them to the liver, and then you can sidestep, come up, rip to the body, and rake. And that's how you put that kind of punch together. Money line, Tyson uh, minus 375. Story money line, Roy's plus 245. So Tyson is the favorite. For me, I mean, I ain't biased, but I just got to give Tyson the rounds. Roy trying not to fight, and the fighting he's trying to do like this, trying to hit like that, and I think Tyson is going to really clip him. I can just see it. Roy can't. He don't have the same legs as he did before. I'm glad it's only 2 minute rounds, so Tyson can, recover, get back, and bring that smoke. Good body shots, Tyson. Roy is clenching crazy. I mean, he ain't even clenching. He's hugging the baby. Yeah. Good body shot by Tyson. Double body shots, right hooks to the body, solar plex stuff. Man, I wouldn't even know, you know, how to just say I'm gonna eat this shot by Tyson to the body. That he's just doing better work. It's just, and I'm biased, but it's just this work looks better that Tyson's doing. It just does. It's just Roy's just surviving crazy. Yeah, that's how you hit a rabbit. Roy looks exhausted. Having to do all that moving. See, that's what happened when your legs go. You don't have the ability to move like you used to. And um that's what happens. Yeah, thanks. Let me see. Tyson looked chill. I mean, literally, he looks chill. Roy looks like it's taking a lot of him. It looked like it's taking a lot out of him to do this. Tyson hopping around. Ooh, he hooking off the jab. And I know he thinking right now, all I need to do is I'd much rather be Tyson than Jones. And I thought Jones would be performing much better than this at this point. But Roy don't even want to get out of the clinch. I mean, he's literally fighting every second in the clinch. Like he's not trying to not be clinching. Yeah, that 20 pound, that 10 pound difference matter even at heavyweight when the body leaning on you. And Tyson's doing a great job. I'm gonna at least get this one picture up. Oh, he caught Roy with a hook. Yeah, Tyson. Whew. I love seeing that. I love seeing that. Just that offense when he let go and how he can still use his hips. Roy is leaning. Oh, Tyson throwing that heat. Oh my God, Roy is putting it on. He is tripping. He do not like that smoke. He do not like that smoke. Y'all, what y'all see? Y'all looking at the joint? Boy, he do not like that smoke. Tyson is really not playing with that dude. He really not playing with that dude. That's the realest dude out here. To do this at 54 years old, you ain't got to prove nothing else to me. Yo, sorry, man. Yeah, Roy is really, really, really learning tonight. This dude Tyson is no joke. Oh, oh, Tyson did a hop step, baby. Boy, I tell you what, if this dude was still fighting, oh, you know, I got to put this on the screen. He looks really good. Roy looks really tired. It takes so much more for Roy. It takes so much more for Roy to fend off Mike Tyson. Tyson getting off. Ah, I missed most of this round trying to get y'all a little clip up. Iron. Tell me what y'all seeing in the fight. I want to see somebody's. Oh yeah, I got one to put up. Yeah, let y'all see a little. That's what Mike Tyson looked like tonight. Boy, he missed the uppercut by like. Yeah, Mike Tyson. Don't it look like the video game still? Yeah, the body shots are sapping strength from Roy. Yeah, you just wait till that heat keep coming, my man. Yeah, it's not as easy as being in there. They both look good though. Ooh, Tyson threw them shots to the body. Good combination to the body. This is what guys don't know how to do these days. Throw combinations to the body like Ray Robinson. Roy trying to throw that pity pat. He trying to walk Tyson back like Holyfield did. He's like, man, Holyfield, you ain't Holyfield, Roy. You was you. Tyson. Yo, Tyson, he big boy. But Roy trying, he fighting Galvin. He trying to, man, he holding crazy. He does not want that smoke tonight. Yeah, he definitely want to get that shot off. He trying to get that uppercut crazy. Look at him. Roy trying to set him up. Keep working that body. Man, Tyson is fighting now. And that elusive weave he got is crazy. He looked like the throwback fighters, and that's where you got to realize that throwback stuff come into play, where these guys understand how to roll. I put a video up a couple of weeks ago, last week, where the guy was rolling. You know, I have Mike Dynamite who hit like Mike Tyson, but he's just a lower weight class. He's dropping and rolling under, pop, and just throwing the shot, throwing the uppercut, throwing the shot, and then sliding under. If you want to do something, try that. Just a combination. A 4-3-2, and you can just roll up under, come back up on the other side. Boom, boom, cut that hook, and then just roll. Just go up under. See what it's like to throw a combination. And then pop, pop, come back on the other side and throw that combination coming up. Tyson over there calculating what move worked, and that's when you got to have the punch numbers. Let me get a 1-7-3, and then step around. And those guys know what that formula is that I give them that smoke when that we do that stuff, those drills with that punch number along with the footwork. So it'll look like 1-3-7-5, side step, step around, pivot, either or, and then come up with a 4-3-6-3, and then rake them to the body. Time up, turn them, pop, pop. Time up, then wipe his nose with the left hook. Oh, this is the last round. Tyson caught him with a straight. Mike Tyson, man, he's so old school. Tyson. Roy's whole joint was about not landing a punch. I mean, not getting hit at all. He was trying his best. If Tyson throw four, two to the body and two to the head, he gonna crack that head. I wish he was in there against somebody who don't just run and squeeze. Like, entertainment is a part of this. But Roy did give his fans, the people who used to love him, see that razzle dazzle. He threw a little bit in there. The exhibition. It's over. It's over. There will be no scoring. Yeah, Tyson looked like he can keep fighting. Roy, I'm glad he did start doing some dazzle though, but because he knew he wasn't entertaining people. But it just goes to show you how dangerous Mike Tyson still is. And don't be surprised if Mike Tyson try to fight somebody for real and it not be exhibition. Because I think he wanted to land some more punches for real to the head. Oh, is Mauricio? Mauricio is there. Uh, yeah, Snoop. They asked if it delivered what people thought, and he asked Snoop, and Snoop said, "Man, when I was young, 54 and 51, you were an old man. These dudes is fighting." Yeah. Hopefully this one will work. Yeah, Mauricio. Oh, they about to score. This is awesome. Just to put this on, how they did tonight was is crazy. Everybody's gonna say, "I want to see a little bit more of that dude," and I want to be in the place where he's fighting somebody that's stationary. I don't know who would have been able to survive that's past their prime in there tonight with Mike Tyson. Golly, I mean, I was hoping he did great, but I didn't know he was gonna actually do really, really. I know how much energy it takes to do what he did. To catch up with a Roy Jones and to be tied up and deal with his antics and still throw punches. He caught him with some shots, mostly to the body, a few clean shots to the head, not finishing shots, but that's why I tell my guys to have change up speed. Punches is super important. Calvin Sneed, what's up? Let me get you on the screen, champ. Yeah, I feel like he took light on Roy. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, no, Roy is just hard to hit. Might went to the body, but definitely look took me to Roy Chin. Was white, was ripped. He could have, but they did it right. Everyone has their faculties, fans. Yeah, and you're gonna have people act stupid. That was a taste. They're about to announce the decision. Roy is talking about. Yeah, it's a draw, man. Um, I tell you what, I hope people really s- s- showed up and paid in order to fight, because these dudes just did something that nobody's ever done in history. Be in their 50s. Come, what's up, buddy? Yeah, I know, right? Say everybody, say what's up to all the people. What's that? Mike said, "Bro, I ain't fought for 20 years. He only missed 3 years. Being fight missed. That's crazy. But he right. Yeah, I love this, man. This is good." Roy said that he said, "Now I know why them dudes was getting knocked out. Everything he hit me with, it hurt." Yeah, I feel like he took a light on Roy. No, that's the wrong one. Sorry, man. Calvin, I was gonna pull your joint up. Yeah, they both showed the talent. Yeah, it was respect to them, coach. Much respect to those guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed being out there on the feed. For those of you who want to take a swing and check out that peekaboo, man, go out there and check it out. I put it in the comment box and get yourself on them hands. Mike Tyson is so the humility, the level of humility is insane. Yeah, Roy definitely put it on, man. He'll be a tough out for anybody. He knows how to survive, and then he can. I think if it was anybody else other than Tyson, he would have had enough confidence, but he didn't even want to. He didn't want to do anything extra to put his head in harm's way, which makes all the difference in the world. Because Mike Tyson can hurt you. He can hurt you bad. Let me see. That was awesome. Good stuff. That boy is a problem. Did you enjoy the fight, Carson? Was it good for you? You was Really? Oh man. Well, you could have came back here and looked at it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's hard. Well, everybody, I'm getting ready to sign out. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. My all my people, it's just uber, just a blessing to be able to do this with you. And next week we will be cranking out that Errol Spence fight. I want to know what you guys think about Errol Spence coming back and choosing Danny Garcia, who is one of the hardest, if not the hardest puncher in the welterweight division. And it will be a night where we get it crunk. And no, I will not be showing the fight. We will be live scoring, and there will be a few other components to it. It'll be awesome. And both of those guys are in their prime, so it'll be awesome. Jake Paul knocked that kid out. What did I tell you he was gonna do? Yeah, I tell you he was gonna knock that dude out. You just don't fight. I was talking to your mom. You was asleep last night. But yeah, Jake was gonna knock him out because Jake has fought before, and Nate Robinson is playing basketball. So my message tonight is to make sure that you do not take this game of boxing light, and that you take it seriously. And you do not play boxing. You play basketball. You play soccer. You play frisbee. But don't get between and climb between those ropes, because you do not play boxing. It's not to be played with. If you want to play it on Oculus. Thrill of the fight. Until next time, be blessed at God's speed. Go out and get your power hands, the power hit gloves. So we starting our new program. It's time to box December the 1st. So if you like skills, boxing skills, make sure you join us on Master Boxing Page Facebook. We will be streaming onto this platform, and it's going to be off the chain. Looking forward to getting it popping with you guys. Until next time, what's up, my man? Shout out to your people. You see that Mike Tyson right there, boy, with the towel on. Until next time, be blessed at Godspeed. Master Boxing signing out. The School of Boxing, big shout. We out.